Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. With the Lada Niva out of the garage, I think it's time to assess the Saab 900 Turbo a bit more, because I got it running, but I have never looked underneath it, and I really don't know how much work this car actually needs before it's road legal again. And I'm going to try to get an overview of that situation today. So first thing, I'm gonna raise it up in the air, take the wheels off, and then we're gonna assess the bottom end. Remember, I have not yet decided if I'm going to save this car. This could be too far gone. I don't know. I got it really cheap and it has been stored in a really bad way for many years outside in the garden with a tarp over it. So it could be too far gone. But today I'm gonna take a look at it and hopefully I can make a decision about what to do with the Saab. So now I'm ready to lift it up. I'm lifting on the lift points. Hopefully they are solid enough to not just crush through the floor of the car, but that will be the first test for today. Let's see. I'm not gonna go further than that because I want to take off the wheels. But first thing on the list is definitely 4 new tires, because these can explode at any moment. They are not good anymore, but it's a good example on newer tires age really poorly. Older tires age a lot better, because these are not that old, but they are completely gone. Oh, they are kind of stuck. There we go. Whew. A theme for the channel for the moment is weird brake calipers, because I tend to find cars with some rather weird looking brake calipers at the moment. With all 4 tires now off, let's get the car into the air. Exciting! So let's take a look at it all. At first glance, the dust shield for the brake disc is gone. That needs to be replaced. I seem to have a leak in the brake system, but they actually seems to work, so I think all the calipers will be rebuildable, especially if I can loosen up the breaker nibbles, but they seem rather big on these, so I'm not gonna attempt right now. They need to be soaking in something. But other than that, everything looks pretty nice. Of course I'm gonna change the brake lines, because I don't know how old they are. They can be collapsed on the inside. Doesn't seem terrible though, but they need to be changed as well. And of course the pads. But other than that, nothing springs to mind as being terribly bad. It's a bit early to say, but this is definitely serviceable. New discs are needed. I got a bad groove in the middle, but other than that, I think the spring seats could be a point of concern. Doesn't seem too bad though. So maybe they are all right as well. But what about rust? I can see bubbling right there. That could be a problem area. And it is. Not too bad though. So right in here is a problematic area for the Saabs. It's the drive shaft tunnel. They tend to go... Wow, this is not bad. Yeah, rust evident, but I don't even seem to be able to make any holes there. So that is really surprising, actually. Of course, I need to really clean up this area and check it all the way through, but this is not bad. So I think it's time to go handheld on the camera. I'm gonna try to not shake you too much about, but I want to show you it underneath, and the camera stand is not going to be able to fit down here. Because this was an area that I was expecting to be bad, but I don't see anything too horrible on this side, which is quite surprising, of course. I'm going to say that this is pretty much as good as my old Saab 900 Turbo that I was not too worried about, but it can hide sometimes, so I have to check further and check inside of the channel, and it's very hard to see from I think you can actually see more than I can at the moment, but it doesn't look too bad. I've seen a lot worse than this. So, oh, what is this? Oh, it gotta be an oil cooler. I don't think my old Saab had that. Can't remember it. So it has a intake right there for an oil cooler. It gotta be an oil cooler. I don't know if it's gotta be the engine oil. If it was an automatic, it could be that, but it gotta be engine oil. I wonder if that is on all the 8 valves or maybe also the 16 valves, and I just can't remember seeing one on my old one, but yeah, who knows? Could be wrong. I'm no Saab expert. Let's take the journey underneath the car and to the other side. The exhaust system is blowing. I can hear that when I turn it on, but I wonder why. Someone was desperate to get this exhaust through an MOT at one point. It's shot. I need a new complete exhaust system, unfortunately, because that could be an expensive unit, but it needs a new one. On the other side, we have the same problem with the dust shield for the brakes. We need a new one of those. Other than that, everything looks pretty all right over here as well. What about that tunnel area? Oh yeah, that's more like it. Oh, that's a big hole in here. Yeah, so it's not good on this side. This is what I was expecting, but I was expecting it on both sides. Apparently it's possible to buy repair panels for this area because it's very common, and sometimes it gets so bad that the the lower wishbone actually comes loose. It doesn't seem to be that bad on mine, but it definitely needs to be fixed. So this is looking bad, but I don't think it's that hard to fix actually. And I don't think it's that uncommon. But yeah. We are having some welding to do if we're going to save this car in this area, that's for sure. That's for sure. But apart from that, I really like the look underneath. It's well protected, that's important. But it's not looking bad. I'm really surprised to see a car that has been standing in a garden for such a long time to be this. It's really solid. It's better than the wheather. That's for sure. It's not saying much though. But the inner wheel arches are really good. So that's a great surprise. It's gone on the other side right here, but not here. The wheel arch has got this plastic trim over it, so it's hard to assess how it actually is holding up. So let's just pull one of them off. Oh, that's not bad. There's a bit of rust right there. Ah, that's not bad, not at all. I just watched Memphis videos on his Saab 900 project, and he just changed the front wings. Looks to be pretty straightforward, but I think getting the wings could be a challenge. But that's nice. This is really not bad. Of course, we have some rust in the bottom end of the doors, but the rockers in general are not that bad. I got actually really good on this side. There's nothing to be too concerned about. Then we are at the rear. I remember my old Saab 900 Turbo 16 valve that had a big rust hole right here when I bought it that I have to fix to get it through the MOT. Just around the rubber bung right there. But we're not having any problems on this one at that location. I think Memphis had some problems down here. He welded up. And it's a bit rusty, surface rusty, but it's not bad. Maybe we can take a look inside it. That will maybe be a bit difficult. Can you see anything? And back here it's the same. New brake discs would be nice, or actually these can be used. The rear ones are all right. The front one needs to be changed because of grooves. This one I want to rebuild just to be certain that everything is good. And then new brake pads and new brake lines as well would be nice. It is leaking from somewhere back here, so that would be nice to fix. I'm beginning to learn how it looks when you need to take the hammer to areas, but everything is actually looking rather good down here. Or not that bad down here. The worst are areas like this, which I think is solid enough. It just needs to be treated and grinded down. Maybe a bit of welding, but I don't think so actually. The rear axle could need a cleanup and paint. And the same with the trailer hitch. Okay, that won't just do it. Wow, Jesus Christ. That is amazingly poor. So, I seem to have a... I seem to be cursed at the moment when it comes to tow bars, because I really want tow bars on my cars, but they tend to be too badly gone or too rusty or not approved or something like that. But this is really bad. This was the way that I was really worried that the entire car was going to be, but it seems as though it's just the tow bar that has taken all the punishment from that garden treatment. Ah, wow. Yeah, all right. This is extremely bad. Wow. So that's going off for sure. And then the other wheel arch. Oh, we have a hole up here at least. That's not bad. And then this area looks rusty. It also looks to have been repaired once before, or it doesn't look. It has been repaired once before. We got the welds going down there. So I might have to open that up to make sure that it's solid underneath. There's also a bit of corrosion on the sill. Maybe a bit won't do it. There's quite a lot of corrosion right here. We need to fix up that area. Not the end of the world either. Oh, we have something up here as well. Yeah, so it's not perfect, but not bad either. That depends. So after taking a look at the underneath of the car, I don't think it's that bad. I was certainly expecting a lot worse. I think this car was in pretty good condition when it was put in that garden 7 or 8 years ago, or 10 years, or whatever it is, because normally that's a really harsh treatment. But it seems to be pretty solid thanks to the thick layer of black, I don't know, there's a payback sticker up here. So it got some underneath protection that seems to be pretty effective. But of course the paint on this car is completely ruined from that experience in the garden. The hood got some rust repairs on the front that has not really worked out, and it's come back and seems to be rather bad. So I think the best solution on that is to get another bonnet. It's the same on all 900 as far as I know, so I don't think it's that hard to come by. I don't know what the prices are, but I will have to figure out that. But I think I'm going to change that and paint it. And yeah, I'm going to try to do it myself because that's the cheapest solution. It won't be perfect, but nothing ever is in my garage, and it's not supposed to be either. So I think that's the plan for this. The roof, I think I'm just going to paint, sand it down, treat it, and then just paint to the edges. I'm not going to take the windows out and all that, so I'm just going to cover it up with some vinyl tape as good as possible, and then maybe put it into the auto VIP so I can get the car onto its side and then paint like that. I think that's the way to go. And the same with the small boot in the rear. It needs a new lick of paint. I think the sides of the car is not that bad. There are some bubbles, especially at the front, but other than that, yeah, there are bubbles all around, but I don't think I'm going to focus on that at the beginning. I'm just going to paint the other stuff and then wait with this, because I don't want to do a full respray. It takes too much time and too much space in my garage, so I'm going to take it slowly, a couple of pieces at a time, and then maybe paint the doors at a later stage and all that. We'll see. But definitely the hood and the roof needs to be done for sure. So, and the engine is still running. It's kind of hard to get going if it's been standing for a while. I still think there's a lot of gummed up fuel in the system, so maybe it needs a clean. Maybe it just needs a good running through and getting really hot and all that. But before even attempting to do that, I would like to check out the coolant system and change the coolant fluid and all that. So that would be nice. New spark plugs, maybe a new water pump, and some coolant hoses that looks bad needs to be changed. And a very important thing is I have no heat shield between the exhaust and the battery. And it really needs one, because as you can see, the exhaust elbow is almost touching the battery, and the exhaust system right there at the turbo gets extremely hot in a couple of minutes actually, so it will just melt the battery. It needs, and from factory it had, a heat shield going around right here. Some relocate the battery to the boot. I'm not going to do that. I will just like to get one of those shields, and then maybe I could wrap the exhaust in some kind of heat material. But other than that, the engine is running. I have no idea about the turbo, but I can hear it spool up, and I can see that the pressure is rising on the gauge when I drove it out of the storage unit. But of course I haven't planted the throttle yet, so I don't know what happens if I do that, but we'll take that along the way. The interior, ooh, the nice interior of the Saab. I need to find the correct steering wheel, and I'm trying to do that. I actually found one, but it was 350 euros, which is way too much money. I'm not going to be able to spend that much on a steering wheel. But also I found out that it wasn't even in stock, so I don't even have the possibility. But the right steering wheel is the same color pretty much as the interior, and that would be nice to get. And then I need to do something about the ignition system or ignition barrel down there, because it won't turn. I have actually bypassed it, and the car is always in ignition when the power is on. Therefore I have to start it on a remote starter switch in the engine bay and switch it off by pulling out the fuel relay. Of course I need to fix that. Hopefully I can just get an entire new unit with the key and barrel and all that, and put in new key and be done with it. But what do you think? Is it savable? At the moment I really think it is. So new tires, new brake shields all around, brake caliper rebuild kits all around, new pads all around, heat shield, exhaust system, ignition barrel thingy, and repair panels. Challenge accepted on the Saab 900 Turbo.